Hello, 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 everyone. So today I wanted to come on and at least make some sort of video on the Pisces full moon today. It's a very, very powerful full moon as it is a super moon and a blue moon. And a blue moon means that we have had two full moons in the same month, which is extremely rare. On top of that, this lunation, having the sun in Virgo, with the moon opposite the sky. That's what a full moon is. It's a 180-degree opposition between the sun and the moon. The moon being in the sign of Pisces, only just a couple degrees away from taskmaster Saturn, making this moon a little bit heavier in some regards. But that doesn't necessarily mean that moving forward it's going to be heavy for each and every one of us. So I wanted to come on again. My name is Yelena Crawford. Sorry there's no video today. I'm not quite ready, and I still wanted to come on and just give you guys a little bit of insight about this lunation. This video probably won't be too long, but I just wanted to come on and kind of free talk a little bit. I don't necessarily have anything planned. I just want to see where this voice recording takes me, have the chart up on the screen, and just give you guys a little bit of something to work with here. I know that I have been very tired all morning, and I know that that's a very big influence of that Piscean and Saturnian energy. It can make you feel a little bit heavier. It can make you feel just like kind of escaping your normal tasks in reality that need to be done. However, we do know with an opposition that there is a very strong need for balance, balancing those two opposing sides out. The other side, we have Virgo. And Virgo, the sun, is shining a light on all of the little miscellaneous tasks that we need to do. It is the energy of work. It is the energy of health, daily to-do lists, cleaning, organizing, just kind of getting the details in order for what needs to be done, which is a very important thing that we should all be focusing on right now. Versus the moon in Pisces kind of making us feel a little bit more dreamy, maybe feeling the need to just escape into a video game or a movie, or just kind of being in our feels a little bit more, and not being able to escape maybe some sort of harsh reality that we've been dealt with, feeling a little bit heavier and restricted, kind of feeling the energy of having less hope and inspiration. Since this is a sign that's associated with big imagination, big inspiration, and just being able to envision a future for ourselves. But with Saturn there, it kind of makes that a little bit dodgy. But on the other hand, if we use this energy properly, we bring in that Virgo energy of being able to just really compartmentalize the tasks that need to be done, focusing here in this very moment, not trying to veer too far ahead of time, we may very well have the opportunity to really ground in a reality for ourselves, a dream, an inspiration that we've been trying to create. That Virgo energy is very necessary. Sometimes it can be difficult for Pisces to stay on a trajectory, to be organized, to really put those dreams in this physical, tangible reality. Pisces has nothing to do with the physical, tangible reality. It is out in the ethers. It is the dreamscape. It is our imagination. It is dream time. It's definitely related to all of those spiritual realms. So it's very important that we take that energy and we bring it down to earth, which is very much what Saturn here is trying to help us do. It's trying to give us a reality check of where we might not be grounded enough, or about where we might need to bring in a little bit more discipline, a little bit more of a realistic vision, and some more focus. So that's just the basic of what I see during this full moon. Another thing that I definitely want to take into consideration, first and foremost, we have this happening at 7 degrees of Pisces, which is still the first decan of Pisces. If If you didn't know, each zodiac sign in the wheel is split up into 3 separate decans, each consisting of 10 degrees, because the pie slice of Pisces consists of 30 degrees of the zodiac wheel. Now, in that first 10 degrees, which is where this full moon is taking place, this is actually the decan associated with the planet Jupiter, which rules the sign of Pisces. And Jupiter is all about those big expanded visions. It definitely places a magnifying glass on things. It makes things bigger. So on one hand, this could be making your problems bigger, especially for anyone who might be struggling with any addictive tendencies or habits or patterns that could be potentially holding them back in life. Today might be a little bit of a difficult day for you. There might be something that's brought into perspective that's hard to see. You know, it's hard to see, hard to realize, or maybe you've gotten yourself into some situations in life that are a little bit different or a little bit difficult to accept. But the only thing that you can do here is accept it and try to think of a practical, logical way to move forward from these circumstances. So with this energy of Jupiter and the desire to expand, the desire to be optimistic, we still have that opportunity, and very much so with this entire lunation, just like the new moon 2 weeks ago was very tied in to Venus retrograde that is currently in its final phases of the retrograde cycle, as we are about to have Venus move direct on Sunday. Yay! Oh my God, I've been waiting for that for so long, seriously. Venus, again, having everything to do with our love and relationships, having everything to do with our money and finances, business deals. Could have to do with, you know, anything that's aesthetically pleasing or maybe not so pleasing during this time period, our self-worth and our values, just the little enjoyments in life, the things that we enjoy doing on a day-to-day basis, our little interactions that we have with other people that are usually very balanced and harmonious. Some of those things definitely take a little spin in an opposite direction when Venus is retrograde, and I'm sure you guys are all on that same page. That's been going on in the retrograde motion since July 22nd. So we certainly have been moving through some distinct trials and tribulations associated with that. And luckily, she will be moving direct on Sunday. So going back to the lunation that started off this cycle, which is now culminating in one of its phases, with this full moon, that was 2 weeks ago today. And it was in the sign of Leo, right where this Venus retrograde is taking place. So not only was it conjunct Venus, but this lunation was also square Uranus in the sign of Taurus. And we can also say that it would be, you know, sign-based square anyways to the sign of Jupiter as well. So there were some sudden and unexpected challenges that were associated with that. Some developments that maybe put our path on a completely different trajectory or direction than we had anticipated. And we were probably dealing with the ramifications with that for the past 2 weeks. This could have very well opened our eyes to where we are off track, to where we're not standing in our light or our power, to where we're lowering our self-worth or values, and where things might need to change, where we might need to change. However, what we do know is that for a lot of people, not every new moon and full moon is created equal. Not every retrograde is created equal. Some are going to affect some people more than others, right? But what we do know with this one is that if you are a person who is highly affected by this retrograde, it's very well possible that whatever happened during this cycle, it could have put you on a path where there's really no turning back. That's what Uranus does. It changes things on a certain level to where we can't go back to the normal. We have to adapt and reroute and rewire our neurological system to adapt to the new normal. And there's a reason for all of it. It may be very difficult at this point to see the silver lining, but I think that this lunation, this full moon in Pisces conjunct Saturn, is going to ground all of that into reality for you. you could very well be having some very deep feelings and realizations, harsh reality checks about what has transpired. You know, sometimes it's a tough pill to swallow when we realize that we haven't been operating in our best light, I guess you could say. Or maybe we made a wrong decision, a wrong turn, or maybe we're not where we want to be in life, or we're in a relationship that's really taking all of our power away, or, you know, we've gotten ourselves into some sort of business arrangement that doesn't seem to be working out. But the only thing we can do at this point is step out of victim energy, which is a lower expression of Pisces energy, which I think a lot of people are probably stuck in right now. They could be stuck in victim mode, wondering, why has this happened to me? You know, what did I do to deserve this? And maybe shift the perspective. I think that Jupiter has a lot to do with our perspective on the world, our perspective on our life and ourselves. So if we're able to take a bird's eye view in a different direction and be really real with ourselves, really real with ourselves, as honest as humanly possible, we might just be able to see things differently. We might be able to learn those harsh lessons. And yes, it might not be fun. Trust me, it might not be fun. Saturn is not here for fun, okay? It's not supposed to be a party with Saturn. What it is supposed to do is help us break the chains from the past, help us break the chains of previous cycles. And if you know anything about the zodiac, which I'm sure most of you do, you're here listening to a deep astrology video and a deep conversation associated with the cosmos and this beautiful cosmic language. We know that Pisces is the final of the 12 zodiac signs. It rounds out the wheel. So this has a lot to do with ending cycles. And with Saturn being here, Saturn is the father of karma and time. So I think that there is an association as well. In modern astrology, a lot of people relate Pisces to the 12th house. So I think that there's a lot of ties here to Pisces being associated with past lives. So this could very well be cycles that have been repeating time and time and time again. And honestly, if you think about it, the only way that we break free from those things, I'm not going to say the only way, okay? I don't want to limit it, but one of the only ways that we break free from those things is through very harsh and tough lessons, which is what Saturn deals up. Very harsh and tough lessons that bring us pain, that bring us angst, that bring us depression, that bring us sadness and woes and worries. So if that is you right now and you can't seem to see the light in a situation, just know that there always is a silver lining. This isn't the end all be all. You know, just be able to maybe see things from that different bird's eye view at this time and have that faith and try to find that small bit of optimism that Jupiter could be potentially providing to move forward bigger, better, more responsible, more disciplined, more mature, and to let all of this go. So what I do like about this, yes, it is not the lightest lunation, right, with Saturn being involved here, and with this being directly tied to Venus retrograde. And how it's tied, just to explain that a little bit, if you see on the screen Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus, and Jupiter is connected in a square, which is going to be there for, maybe the next month, to Venus in Leo, which is retrograde at this time. So when this Sunday hits, Venus will be stationing direct and slowly beginning her move forward. And that same day, Jupiter will be stationing retrograde and beginning its descent backwards, which is really going to bring those expansive internal lessons where we're able to really hone in and maybe start to realize over the next 3-month time period some big, big changes inside of us. Some expansion internally where we're able to work on our self-worth and our values. maybe some money issues. Like some people, this could be like a money deal falls through. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I would say that'd be super heavy for some people too, though. So I don't want to say it's not super heavy, but it could be really anything, relationship issues, whatever you are going through, pick your poison, family issues, addictions, relationship concerns. Maybe, with this Pisces energy, for some, there's been a lot of grief associated with someone's passing. Saturn is a planet that's associated with death in traditional astrology. So there could be, some grief, some very heavy grief that some are experiencing right now. What I do love about this, however, is that Saturn and the Sun are moving away from their opposition to each other, which we experienced over last weekend, which is kind of reducing some of the heaviness associated with this full moon, since the moon and the sun are the two game players here in a full moon. So the sun's position is also very important, and the sun is separating, which means it's walking away. It's moving past some of that heaviness. So I do think that after this moon reaches its peak, which is in the evening of Wednesday, August 30th here on the East Coast, I do think we may be able to potentially leave some of this heaviness that we've been dealing with behind. So that's just the way that I'm looking at this lunation today. I'm wishing you guys all the very best. I do think there's some, really heavy and deep emotional waters that are being stirred up right now. I would say that if you could ground into your intuition, into the way that your body feels, that's going to be a very big telltale sign of where to go, where to move forward. I think that there is a possibility to leave some heaviness behind, to see what's becoming a burden for us, what's become too heavy, maybe where we've been wronged by others, or where we have wronged other people. There's so many different ways to think about this. Now, I did also want to look at the inside degrees. The inside degrees are channeled degree points of the zodiac by an author named Elias Lonsdale. So I have this pulled up right here, and I just wanted to go and maybe potentially read 7 and 8 degrees of Pisces and see if it has any relevance with what this energy is kind of manifesting for all of us. So at Pisces 7, it says, a candle burning. There is a ring of salt around it on the floor. Spirit is well preserved from becoming untrue. It is held within its own matrix and granted a pure and wonderfully veiled atmosphere and feeling tone and sphere to stay within. From this place, spirit can empower itself to be whole, to commune, to remember, and to conceive. You are given what you need, and especially granted timing grace to be ushered through the world in a guided tour that leads only to the temples and the marvels that are here. However, all of this has to happen inside, deep inside. The outside situation may belie the inward experience. But here, what seems in the moment is as nothing, and what is really there between the lines and through the cracks is everything. This is a domain set apart for special purposes, projects, and endeavors, and is the perfect retreat for one who wishes to remain in touch with the living spirit, who wishes never to forget what it is that stands under the phenomenal world and keeps the eternal flame burning without a flicker. This is interesting because I even think of like the candle burning is very symbolic of your light, of your own personal light. And having a ring of salt around it on the floor. Salt would be an indication of something that's protective, that casts away bad energies, that protects things. It's something that a lot of witchy people use in rituals around their house, maybe washing floors with salt water or placing salt water outside of their home around their doors to protect what's inside. So this is a very self-protective energy. We might actually be feeling the need to be more protective right now, more introspective. And I would highly suggest that as well if you do have time today, maybe even in tomorrow, to do your own internal introspective process, to do your own rituals at home, to spend some time alone in deep solitude and introspection, to really think about what's been going on externally rather than trying to escape it, rather than trying to, cover it up with busyness in the outside world. I think that that's important as well. And of course, we still have to pay attention to our earthly realm and what we need to do on the daily basis. Some of us may have to go to work today. Some of us may have tasks that we have to do. Some of us may have to go to doctor's appointments for health concerns or whatever it might be, errands ran, to-do lists to check off. But I do think that there is, very much uh, importance being placed here on the ability to go within, right? So you can zoom in on that different perspective, place the magnifying glass underneath it, and be able to see things a little bit more clearly, even if, again, it is a tough pill to swallow or tough content to witness. So anyways, I think that's good for today. I just wanted to come in and say a little something about this. This turned into a quick 20-minute video, but if you did resonate with anything that I said today, please be so kind to tap the like button below, leave me a comment, let me know how you're feeling during this full moon, and if you're feeling this is pretty accurate energy right now. Next time I will be back on with a video so you guys can actually see me and we can talk like that. But for now, I just wanted to at least get something out for all of you to explain this somewhat tough but soon to be passing energy. All right, y'all, wishing you the best full moon day. And I want to come back on and talk about this Venus moving forward. So I will talk to you all very soon. Love you. Bye.